Hey guys, Mørkets here, welcome to my channel. So about 12 or 13 hours ago, I was sitting here next to my desk, or sitting at my desk, on my laptop, doing a little this and that, and I was about to leave the desk and I clicked on the Facebook banner and just briefly saw if anyone had said anything interesting, and one of my Facebook friends posted a picture of something related to Ozzy Osbourne, and I saw the caption and it said R.I.P. and I thought, what? And then I sort of backed up a little bit, and then I grabbed my phone and I opened up I think I opened up Dagbladet, the app for one of the biggest Norwegian newspapers, and it said Ozzy Osbourne er død. Ozzy Osbourne is dead. And I thought, what? This can't be. And then I mean, we knew Ozzy and his life and all the things he'd subjected his body and mind and everything to. But it still really knocked me for a loop, because it was 17 days since he was on that stage in Birmingham, and we watched all the YouTube postings and all the news about that, and I didn't actually end up buying, the ticket to see it streamed, but I thought, no, I'll save it for when they release it on Blu-ray or whatever, and see it that way. And I wasn't really thinking about making a video, but a thought came up in my mind about, it's funny how things go around in a way. So what is my relationship, as it were? What is my love of Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath? Well, maybe not the ways of a lot of other people who have posted from the vinyl community and so on. I do not remember when I became aware of Ozzy or his relationship to Black Sabbath. I have a distinct feeling or a vague memory that I may have misunderstood a couple of things, because I did not grow up with Black Sabbath. My older brothers listened to hard rock for sure, and by older I mean 15 and 16 years older than me. They were born in the mid-50s and late 50s, whilst I was born in the 70s. And they listened to Deep Purple, and I know one of my brothers was more of a Led Zeppelin person. And I remember when I was little, they never made fun of my love of rock and roll, and very early started listening to their records and stuff. But I think they made a little fun of my loving Kiss, I remember. And then I'm a teenager, and we're in 85, 86 year now, and I'd finally gone to see my first real concert. My half-sister took me to see Accept in a place called Skedsmokorset outside of Oslo. And I was now a fan of Iron Maiden and AC/DC and Accept and other things. And I am fairly sure that my first record related to either Ozzy or Black Sabbath was actually Black Sabbath featuring Ronnie James Dio. Now I don't have that record. I've been meaning to get it over the years because I had my house was burgled in Denmark many years ago when I wasn't living there, and I lost a lot of things. And among the things that seemed to have disappeared around that time was a lot of my heavy metal vinyl records. And one of those, or a couple of those, are related to this. And my Live Evil, wasn't it? The live album disappeared. And my first Black Sabbath studio album was in fact also not even with Ronnie James Dio. It was this one. This one was also one of those that disappeared. I found this at a record fair a couple of years ago in Gjøing in Denmark. So Seventh Star was in fact my first Black Sabbath studio album, and one that I love to this day and listen to quite often. What was my first Ozzy? Well, it was not this, because this is a CD, but this was my first record that I ever owned with Ozzy Osbourne on. And I remember, and you have to remember, this is a few years before internet, whenever you had a question or were wondering about something, you could just sit down and check it out on the internet. So I remember I was confused by this, because a lot of, as far as I can remember, I thought that some of these songs were the same songs that were on that other, the Black Sabbath live album. And these two guys, the singing there and the singing here didn't sound the same. So I remember I was confused about who was who. I know, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? And but I liked this, and I remember I played it quite often. But what was my first Ozzy Osbourne studio album? Well, it was this one. The Ultimate Sin. And I remember videos from this was on TV and MTV all the time. And I really love this album. It was, I guess, for a time my favorite Ozzy Osbourne studio album, and I would say it's probably my second favorite to this day because of the nostalgia. This again is not my original copy from then. I have managed to get two fairly good second-hand copies the last few years. This is also then one that I lost in the fire, so to speak. I'm not wearing, so I'm wearing my West Ham jersey, by the way, in case someone protests. I know it's not an Aston Villa jersey. I don't have an Aston Villa jersey, but it's the same color scheme, so that's kind of a bit of a homage. So my favorite Ozzy Osbourne studio album is No More Tears. This is the one that I went straight to my record collection and grabbed when I heard the news last night and played. And because I have fond memories of this, because I remember listening to this record a lot also when I was visiting a friend of mine who then lived in South Washington State, just across the river and border to Oregon. And Laurie, who I know loves Ozzy Osbourne a lot, and now lives in the UK. I remember she played this a lot, and there's so many great songs on this. So, what was my first Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath record? I think Sabotage or something. I don't remember all that well, and I haven't had any Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath on vinyl for many years. I have CDs, and I've been meaning to get get Ozzy's Black Sabbath on vinyl. I don't have any Dio either. I have, funny enough, Tony Martin complete now because of the box set and the additional record. So I was also thinking about when did I sort of feel the closest to Ozzy, and aside from the music, obviously, because of the music, and I think it's all the times on and off here and there where I sat down and I watched these post the Osbourne YouTube clips, I suppose, vlogs featuring Jack and Ozzy, whether they were doing things together, and seeing Jack's family life come together there, and just and lately when they've been talking in this vlog kind of thing, and I just love seeing those two together, and I miss because I miss my own father, and we were really good friends, and in 2 months it'll be 30 years since my dad passed away, and I never got any kids of my own, and there are were never any little Mortons running around, Mortons or Martina, and but seeing those two together, I think Ozzy would have screwed up a lot of things in his life, and he was very candid about that. But whenever I saw those two together, those were great moments, and I think I'll go online now and have check out some of those videos actually, and maybe it'll be too soon. I don't know. I've seen some of you other guys out there talk about your fondest memories of Ozzy. I never saw him live, and of course we've seen so much of him. Maybe even more than you would want sometimes, but those scenes, and I mean with his other children as well, and his oldest son, when we saw him appear, but yeah, Jack and Ozzy, and that I have fond memories of that. But to tie this up, and my favorite Black Sabbath, by the way, is Master of Reality. That's my favorite, featuring Ozzy Osbourne, and this was my first on vinyl for many years, and it's a Vinyl Me Please that I was one of the very last I got before I ended my subscription to that to them. So it's Wednesday today, and 2 weeks ago I left Oslo for Stockholm, and while I was in Stockholm, about 8 or 9 days after the Birmingham concert, I was in a second-hand record shop called Mørkets, where I came across something, and I thought, I have to buy this now, because first of all, it ties up something I wanted for a long time that I lost because it got stolen, and also it's just over a week after Ozzy's farewell. So I bought that, and then Wednesday, 1 week ago, I was back in Oslo, and it's already been a week, and 8 or 9 days then again after that, I get the news that Ozzy had passed away. And that's why I kind of felt that this was a little bit of an odd, ending of a circle, that I bought Speak of the Devil on vinyl in Stockholm 8 or 9 days after he sang for us for the very last time, and 8 or 9 days after I bought it, he passed away. And this was my very, very first Ozzy Osbourne record of any kind, and that I lost quite a few years ago now, probably around 20 years ago, when my house was burgled while I was up in Norway. And then I got it back, and it was going to be, I always remember this as the first Ozzy Osbourne I bought after he retired and Black Sabbath played for the last time. And now it's also, the last Ozzy Osbourne record that I bought before he passed away. And I thought it was a little bit eerie, maybe not much, but that's why I ended up doing this video. So thank you so much, Ozzy, for all the wonderful music and the memories. I listened to his book this spring on the old Amazon book thing. Been listening to a lot of biographies over the past couple of years, and so he was very fresh in my mind, not only because of the Birmingham thing and all that, and I had been listening to Ozzy a lot lately because also of listening to that book. Strange somehow, and I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss rock and heavy and hard rock being what it was with these guys and all these people who were the pioneers. And I could waffle on, I won't. Thank you, Ozzy, and if you've been watching so far, thank you for watching. Play some Ozzy, some Black Sabbath, hard, loud, enjoy the memories. See you later, guys.